Welcome back to the channel and welcome to part 2 of my 3-part series testing the OnCore golf balls, the Vero X1, Vero X2, and the Elixir. Part 1, we did stuff on and around the greens and we determined the Vero X2 is my current favorite. This is another part that's very essential if you're testing a new golf ball. Get out on the golf course and hit shots with the balls that you would have in a round of golf to see if they perform the way you want them to perform based on the golf ball you're already using, or if they perform better than the golf ball you're using. It's a windy day, it's a perfect day to test 3 golf balls. Okay, so here is the first shot I want to test. I'm right at the 100-yard plate, little back pin, so I've got about 105 yards, a little into the wind off the right. This is a perfect flighted 56. What I want to see is something that's kind of mid-height, lands with some spin, and if it has too much spin, it's going to kind of flight up. I caught it a little thin, but it still flew really well. Dead pin high, didn't spin back too much. Man, that was actually pretty good for a miss hit, because let's be honest, when we're testing balls, it's not always going to be our best shot. We want to see what it does when we don't hit it well. Kind of a little steep. Flew a bit higher. That thing spun a little more than I wanted it to. X2 obviously performed the best. It was a miss hit. They all were varying degrees of miss hits. My wedge play obviously isn't the sharpest right now, but okay, that's a little bit of knowledge I've got about the balls. Now we're gonna hit driver and learn a little bit more. So typically, no wind, I would hit a driver kind of just right of these bunkers. If I lost a little right, we're okay. If I pumped it and pulled it, I can cover the bunker and be really, really good and aggressive. We got some wind helping here, so I can take this right over that bunker and just really give it a rip. What I'm looking for here is what kind of flight does this give me, spin does this give me, especially if I mishit it, how much does it kind of float out to the right? So let's go X2 first. Holy cow. I mean, that was a little pull. That thing just rocketed off the face. That's gonna be way up there. So X1. That was... Okay, so there's that thin floater. Still covered some pretty good distance. So we kind of got a good array of a solid one, a pull, hook, and then the floater. Obviously X2 I think is gonna be the forerunner again. Yeah, I could just stand on the range or indoors on Mevo and just hit a bunch of shots and wait till I make the perfect strike just to get the best reading. Let's be real, that's not how golf works. Like, yes, we wanna understand the data and have something that is perfectly matched for us, or as perfect as it can be, but it's about being out on the golf course and your misses. Are your misses, if you're switching golf balls, the same if not better than your current golf ball? That Elixir, probably about the same. The Elixir feels firmer off the face, don't love it. X2 feels freaking awesome, and that flight, like, that was really good. And having been a club fitter, spent enough time on a launch monitor over my years, right away when I saw that, like, shit, that thing went far. Holy cow, like, that's really far from the gold tees. Like, where do you see this? I've got like 60 yards to the green. Downwind, yeah, obviously that helps, but I was impressed because sometimes if a ball is not spinning enough, if it's too flat, it falls out of the air downwind, and vice versa. If it's spinning too much, it can fall out of the air. That thing was flighted. I mean, yeah, it was a pull, went further, but soft fairways. I'm gonna take that and run, but now, perfect little test, little downhill lie, downwind, front pin. Can I spin this fast enough and have it stop softly and get close? I mean, I hit it too hard, but that stopped really fast. And that felt really good. I haven't drank the Kool-Aid, if you will. I've done a bit of research on what is different or what makes on-course golf balls different than what I've been using. And one of the main things that stands out is they're perimeter weighted, which they say is meant to have the ball fly better in the wind. It's a very windy day today, so that's kind of a perfect test. And of the 7 shots I've hit, none of them have been executed perfectly. Maybe that wedge was the most perfectly executed, just a little long. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. It's kind of cool. So this par 3 now, into the wind, gonna have to like punch probably about a 5-iron. So let's see what we can do. 180 to the flag, into the wind. It's probably about a 190 to 195 yard shot. I said 5-iron. I'm gonna go with 6-iron because this is a perfect test. Because if I execute a good knockdown, it'll go through the wind. If I get a little in front of it, it'll have too much spin. And let's see what that does. Perfect test for a 6-iron. And you may be sitting back there and be like, yeah, Andrew, I noticed in the last video you talked about your hats and you had a different style hat. This is still a melon hat. That was the Coronado. This is the Trenches. I've been wearing this hat for 2 years. I got a big head. This is a big hat. It's perfect for me. The hats are stylish, off the course, on the course. They don't really smell because there's the antimicrobial. They're very easy to clean. They float. They're just the ultimate hat. Kind of got out in front of it and flipped it. Flew about pin high. Just not a good shot. Melon, they don't give out discounts very often, but they want to hook you up. Use the code TEAMAJ. You get 20% off. You're going to look stylish. Hopefully you're going to hit a better shot than that because your hat's on point. Oh, that thing went through the wind so nicely. Wow, that felt awesome. Holy cow. The wind did not even affect that. That just went, it's because I'm talking about a discount for you. So, melon hats. They got a bunch of styles. They're super comfortable. They're the best hat in the world. I wouldn't have been wearing it for 2 years if I didn't love it. Use the code TEAMAJ. Get 20% off a melon hat. Now watch me hit this shot. So that was struck well. It kind of floated a little more with the wind. It didn't fight through like the Elixir did, or even the X2, which I mishit. Yeah, these, I'm impressed with how these are doing in the wind. Let's have a little bit of fun. We're gonna kind of play like a scramble with these 3 balls, and we're gonna get some numbers in the tee shots and the approach shots. 13th hole, par 5. I just want to take it at that big bunker in the distance, just right of this big tree. X1 is up first. I mean, that was just kind of a smooth bit of a floater, but it didn't spin too much. Total distance, 275. We got more, but that's with no wind adjusted or anything. So here's X2. Pulled that one, spin about the same. Launched it low. More ball speed, you know, even on a miss hit. So that's kind of cool to know. Holy cow, that got way more carry on about the same ball speed. Dang, Elixir. Dang, interesting. Interesting. Okay, let's go to the fairway. Well, I thought this might be an easier decision to potentially rule out Elixir after the time on the short game. No, it's almost, I think, X1 is ruled out. X1, I mean, I haven't hit it the best, but that first one on the tee there, it was like a smooth, kind of safe driver. It was the lowest ball speed. Elixir on the par 3, and just right there, wow, those flew so, they impressed me so much. But then that miss hit on X2, ball speed was higher than X1. I mean, I kind of heel pulled it. It was not a good swing. But then I think about X2 back on 11. So it's like Elixir and X2. But X2 is kind of better around the greens. But what I said in that video is, if Elixir performs better on the course, it's Elixir. So let's see what an iron does here into this par 5. 162 to the front, 175 to the middle. I just want to carry this thing if I were playing just over this bunker. It's a very shallow green. Pins in the back, but it's basically like 3 paces past middle. In my mind, it's about a 170 shot. Then we have the wind. So it's just a smooth, choke down 8-iron. Little off the toe, but it still fought nicely. Spin was down because I clanked it a wee bit off the toe, but pretty good miss. That thing spun a little bit more. 164, I mean, that's perfect. 8100 on the spin. That's a great number of spin. It launched nicely, it had height, but it wasn't getting eaten up by the wind or falling out of the sky because it wasn't spinning enough. I didn't pick it up, but it was really nice. Let's see when we get up there. It was really, really nice. I really liked that one. So there they are, X2, Elixir, X1. Kind of down off the slope. X2 wasn't right on the line for the slope. Lots to think about. Okay, I don't really think I'm gonna make a concrete decision in this video because at the end of the day, it takes some time, a round or two, to figure out exactly which ball to switch to if you have, you know, close comparisons. They're both performing really well. I think X1, like I said, is maybe the least high performing, but it still performs well. So what I'm gonna do here is, this is the 17th hole. It's howling into the wind. It's a good risk reward par 5. With this much wind, you gotta hit a really good drive to give yourself a good chance to, in this case, hit a 3-wood on the green. So I'm gonna go head to head, X2, Elixir, see if this can help me make a decision for the Break 70 video. So usually with no wind from here, you could get pretty aggressive and bite off a lot. Whereas this wind is just dead into, don't want to get too aggressive. Can kind of keep this thing just straight up, but it's a great test because, you know, the old right floaty spinny one, it's swimming. So head to head, X2 Elixir, may the best ball win. Cool. That was a little out in front of it, high floaty toe that I could have swore was swimming, but it covered, thankfully. Safety pull. I roasted it though. On to the second shots. I've got about 275 to the middle here. The pin is like right here. Obviously I'm gonna be aggressive. I wanna try to see if I can, you know, turn a 3-wood around and fight it through the wind and see how close I can get to the green. Oh my gosh, that felt awesome. Man, that felt freaking good. That thing just, wow, that felt really good. Okay, so clean living prevailed there. That thing's still covered over. Way better angle. I've probably got 260-ish. Can't quite see the flag. But let's see how this thing flies, you know, off a hanging lie. Still want to try to draw it. If not, just leave it just short of the green. I necked it. I mean, it worked out to be a decent layup. I probably wouldn't have hit 3-wood under any other circumstances. Got about a 50-yarder, a little into the wind. Not the best grass down here. So let's see if we can execute a good shot. Nope. Okay, this is the one I really wanted to come hit. I was excited to hit. That 3-wood just ripped through the wind. Almost green high. Great leave. We got a putt for birdie. We got to chip in the X2. I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with the golf ball. That was just a very good shot. Okay, we birdied with the X2 with no good shots hit, but a chip in. Now, Elixir, you've hit 2.5 good shots. Gotta make a putt. Oh yeah, Andrew, get it in. Oh. Okay, I don't know if I've confidently made a decision. I guess this is a hard process, but I think I want to play X2, but I really like how Elixir is off the tee. I don't know which ball I'm gonna play in the Break 70. You'll have to wait and see when I tee it up. Peace.